So this is the second attempt of making a YouTube video on how to make some homemade seed bead jewelry. The first video I realized you weren't really close enough to what I was working on to figure out what was going on. So take two. And be gentle on me in the comments because I've never done this before. But this is what we're going to attempt to make. It's a sunflower seed bead bracelet. And I seen a video on how to make this on YouTube, and I'm actually going to link that person as well because it's probably easier for you guys to watch them do it versus me. But I tweaked the original pattern a little bit. So as we build this, I will kind of show you what it is that I added versus what they did in their video. But what you're going to need is size 11 seed beads. So, and you can do any color variation, but for the sake of learning, if you've got these, it's probably best to just stick with this pattern so that you kind of understand what's going on as you're watching. But I have white, kind of a lime, forest green, yellow, and bear with me, and I'm kind of a messy beater, so there's actually two variations of yellow in there because when I put these away I didn't realize that they were two different shades. But anyways, and then brown. So I buy this nylon Nymo thread from Amazon, and I've chosen the color we're going to use, which is going to be yellow. And I buy these beading needles on Amazon as well, and I can put the link for both of those things as well. And you need scissors. What I like to do with the thread is I will just take like one arm's length, like a wingspan of thread. Okay, so I moved the bead project inside. It was a little too sunny outside for me to actually determine if what was being recorded was in focus. And excuse my dog's hair. I have a little white chihuahua. He's going to be all over this board. But anyways, we're inside now, and I hope that this is in better focus. So I forgot to tell you how I was going to end this bracelet, which is just going to be with two jump hoops and then a little clasp. You put those to the side. Take your string, thread your needle. The string length can be whatever you're most comfortable with. If you're newer to this, a moderate amount, but shorter, it's okay. We're going to add more string later, but the longer, the more chances it's going to get knotted, and then it becomes difficult, and then you don't want to do this anymore. So just a moderate amount. You're going to pick up one white seed bead, one lime seed bead, a green, and then a white. So you're going to have these four. You're going to take those all the way to the end, leave yourself a tail. Now, going back up the tail end, I'm going to feed it back through all four of those beads. I'm going to hold on to my tail. So we've made a loop. So it's going to sit just like that, little square. So the side that I have my tail, I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go up that white tail side. And just kind of pull tight. So my thread's coming out between white and lime. So I'm going to pick up a lime and I'm going to go through that lime. So it's going to sit like that. Just so you guys can see it. Okay, coming out of lime, going into green, we're going to add a green. Now we're in between green and white, we're going to add a green. Alright, and just because we're meeting our tail, whenever I do that and I'm in between two beads, I'm actually just going to tie a knot, and that's just going to reinforce what we've got going on thus far. So just like a simple little knot. I say that. This is tiny right now. Alright, so we have a knot in between the two white. I'm going to add a white, and that's going to be our very end of our bracelet. Okay, so I've added a white between the two whites, and I'm coming out this little lime bead, but I want to make it back up to our top bead. So I'm going to feed that to the top. Alright, so this is what you've got, a little square. Thread's coming out the top bead there. This little hole is where you're actually going to put your little jumper. So it's going to look like So just using pliers, open it up, slip it through, clamp it back down. Pretty easy. All right, continuing on, you're gonna add 1 lime bead, 2 whites, and a green bead. And going the direction opposite of where your thread's coming out, back up the line. I'm going to add a lime, go through the white, coming out between white and white, I'm going to add a yellow, coming out between white and green, I'm going to add a green. We're going to go green, and then I'm going to go through that center green bead that's holding our 2 diamonds together as well. Alright, so this is what you got. We'll figure 8. Go ahead and feed your string back to the top, to your yellow, to where you're coming out this way. So you're going to feed it through these 2 limes, white and a yellow. Alright, now you're ready to make a flower. You're going to grab 3 brown, going in the opposite side you're coming out of. Just like that. Go up that side brown bead, and then also go up the top brown bead. And it's going to come loose, but you can always pull it, just holding your beads and then kind of tugging on your string. Add 3 more browns, going in this direction, opposite of where you're coming out. So that's what you've got. I'm going to flip this over. Take your needle, go to the side bead that you just created. You're going to pick up 1 brown, 2 yellows, and a brown. And I mentioned at the beginning of this video that I had learned this on a YouTube video, and that person had only put 1 yellow, and I'm going to add 2. And the reason is because I like my petals to be a little bit fuller, and using the first pattern, the beads are kind of spaced out, and I just like the way that this looks a little bit better. So I loop those 2 back around to that side bead. I'm going to take my needle, I'm going to go up to the top, and this is kind of our point bead. That's the bead that's kind of pointing in the direction that we're building towards. So this is going to be the length of the bracelet. So going this direction, we're only going to add 1 yellow seed bead. So we're going to go 1 brown, 1 yellow, and 1 brown. You only add 2 when you're on your sides. So we're going to go back this direction. So we came out at the bottom here, taking our needle, going to our side bead. Just trying to make sure that we're still on camera here. I keep kind of like sliding this way. Pick up a brown, 2 yellows, and a brown, going this way. Alright, so we're coming out right here. I want to make it to the outside, so I'm going to go up the brown that I just added. So it's looking like that. I'm going to add 2 yellows. And we're going to go down this bead and come back out this side. So we're going down that first bead. And flatten this out so you guys can kind of see. Alright, so we added those 2. Going in this guy. Let me bring it up. Going in this one. And up. Alright. So what we just did was we went from here, we added 2, brought our needle down through these 3, and now we're back on this side. We're going to add 2 yellows. We're going to go through this bead, and this bead to add 2 yellow here. On the side. Sorry if this is hard to see. Add 2 yellow. We're going 1, 2, 3. Cool. Got a little fuzz on our work here. Alright. Gonna add 2 yellow. We're going 1, 2, 3. We're gonna come out this yellow. Come on. Oh, and we just lost our needle. Alright, so we're coming out that side. Sorry, I got you, rethread. See if I can do this on the first try. Oh boy. Alright. So we're coming out over here. We're going to add 1 yellow. And we're going to go through this one, our connecting bead, and the first side of our other petal on the other side. So those 3. Okay. We're going to add a bead. We're going to go up these 2. And that makes our first little petal, that little petal right there. Add 1 bead, go through the next 2. There's your second little petal. Add a bead. And we're back at a top bead. So we're going to go through 3. That's our third petal. Add 1 yellow, 1, 2, add yellow, 1, 2, and we've kind of got back to where we've completed our first little sunflower. So I'm going to feed my string all the way back up this side to where I'm coming out our little point bead here. So I'm just going to feed it back all the way around. And I'm just going to go through all the beads that we just added. Just going all the way around, and let's just kind of tighten up your flower also. 2 more. I'm back at the center up here. Alright, so this is what you got. Alright, at this point, you're going to add a white, a lime, a green, and a white. And going in the direction opposite of the one you came out of. So you've got another little square. Go up that first white bead that you just added, just that first one. So you're coming out between white and lime, you're going to add a lime. Coming out between lime and green, you're going to add a green. Coming out between green and white, you're going to add a green. And then take your needle, well, go out your white. Take your needle back through your yellow, going this way. Alright, you've secured yourself a little square. Go ahead and feed your thread all the way back up to your point bead, green bead. Hold on. Alright, so now we're coming out the top of this green bead. Gonna add 1 lime, 2 whites, and a green. Go in the direction opposite that you came out of. Make a little square. Go up through that first lime bead. You're coming out between lime and white. You're gonna add a lime. Coming out between white and white, you're gonna add a yellow. Coming out between white and green, you're going to add a green. And go through your green and your green center bead there. There you go. Got your next little leaf bridge to your next sunflower. Feed your string back up to your yellow. Alright, now we're coming out yellow and we're on to the next sunflower. So you pick up your 3 browns. And those are stuck together. Going in opposite the direction I came out of. We're going to go up the side brown bead that I just added, and we're going to go through the top one. So now we're coming out the top of that brown bead. I'm going to add 3 more browns. Opposite the side I came out of. Alright, instead of going all the way to the top, you just go to the side, just that first side bead. So now my string's coming out this side bead. On to making petals. Get a brown, 2 yellows, and a brown. Back up the direction that I came out of. Or opposite rather. Alright. Go to that top bead. Your point bead. So this is your point, the one that's going the direction of your bracelet here. So that one's actually only going to be the one. So brown, 1 yellow. Go back in. come to the side bead, go through. That one's going to be a brown, 2 yellow. We're on the side, we get 2 yellows. That one's going to go this way. Alright, at this point, you're going to go back up the brown bead you just added. So you've made it to the outside. You're going to add 2 beads, 2 yellow beads. Go down 1, 2, out this side, 3. 1, 2. Sometimes you can catch more than 1 bead. And then out this side, 3. So this is what it should look like. Okay. 2 yellows. Go in 1, 2, 3. Out this side. Alright. 2 more yellows. 1, 2, 3. Out on this side. 2 more. Going 1, 2, 3 out the top yellow. Alright, so we've made it to the outside. Now we're going to start adding our points. So 1. We're going to go through 1, 2, 3. Alright, on the other side, we're going to pick up 1. Going to go through 1, 2. Come on. Pick up 1, going to go through 1, 2. Pick up 1. We're going to go through 1, 2, 3. So that's our center bead. It's our point bead. Pick up 1. Go through these 2. One yellow, these 2, and that's the end of our petal. Alright, so again, take your string all the way back through to the side. Alright. And so on and so forth. And then you would add your 2 whites, your 2 greens, blah, 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 and keep going. So that's it. That's the end. You can go to whatever length it is that you want. You can make a bracelet. You can make an anklet, which I had over here, which I was digging for. Oh, see, you can make an anklet. A little bit longer. I found that bracelet size 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the flowers. Anklet size 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of the flowers for anklet. I need to add clasp for that one. But yeah, hope this was enjoyable. Hope you could see it. Don't be too brutal on me on the comments. This is my very first YouTube video ever. Alright, bye.